So tonight I'm going to be installing the missing gingerbread trim on my antique Godstock house. So there would have been gingerbread trim underneath this peak of the house, and we're going to recreate it and replace the missing parts. I'm once again at the lovely Diane's house. Diane is the most creative, crazy, talented carpenter friend of mine who I actually met off of Facebook. Here's her card, and she just does absolutely wonderful work. So here she's on her computer and she's recreating the missing gingerbread trim for me. So how I know what the trim looked like is you can see the faint outlines of the glue where it was originally glued on, but I did find this example of a God's Chalk house online, and this is what the trim looked like. So this is what we're going to try and replicate. So we took some photographs because Diane lives way far on the other side of the city, and I put the measuring tape up against it, and that's how we got the basic pattern. And then she used that photograph that I just showed you of the other God's Chalk house that's the same style as mine, and we used the combination of those two things to recreate this. So as you can see here, she's got a laser cutter. What a crazy cool tool to use. Now, a lot of people that do miniatures that sell kits, they have these laser cutters, and a lot of the kits that you buy nowadays, this is how they're made. In this case, this is a one-off, so we're just making one piece of gingerbread trim to fit onto my one dollhouse. So this is the first go at it. So we did end up having to cut three in total. You can see those are what the pieces look like. And the first one wasn't quite the perfect fit. So Diane's just in there kind of measuring it and figuring out it's got to be just slightly bigger in order to fit into that space. But you can tell, even though it's not fitting perfect, how cool that's going to look when it's in permanently. So back to the drawing board, and she's going to have to cut it again. So um, yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled with this job that she did for me. Like, just excellent. So she's just kind of fitting the little medallion in, and here we are cutting the third piece. So you know what they say, third time's the charm. And in this case it really was. Luckily, she had some scrap wood from a previous job that she had done, so she didn't have to waste a whole lot of wood doing this little job for me. So, but you know, she did an exact job on measuring it, and it is really a absolute perfect match. So, so you can see, I don't know how people have these machines inside their homes because it does burn the wood and it's quite stinky and quite smoky. So I would imagine that if you were doing this inside of your house and not in a garage with the door wide open, that you would have to somehow have a hood over it or ventilation to the outside, because it does kind of smell a little bit like campfire. That's the best way to describe it. So, and this really doesn't take very long at all. So I thought it was going over it twice, but it actually goes over it once, and there you go. See, she's just popping that out, and that is the perfect fit. So, and it looks just like the other house. So I couldn't be more thrilled. So I on my way home, I purchased. I went to the dollar store and I purchased these laser cut little pieces. You might recognize the box that they came in because I have in previous videos cut these down and used them as wall dividers. So, and they make perfect little bookshelves or wall dividers. So what I've done is I've chosen the ones that are kind of round and kind of look like they could be medallions for the house. And I did paint them already in the same color paint that I painted all the other trim on the God's Chalk. And so I painted up the only four round ones. So that one kind of has a laser cut of a moon in the corner. So, and I'm just kind of showing you all the ones that I have to choose from. So, originally in the original God's Chalk house, in the top peak there, like right there, there would have been it looks like a cross laser cut into it, and I opted not to put the cross on it. So I figured that I could come up with something a little bit better. So what I've done is my friend Pat, she's got a bunch of molds, to make picture frames, and I got her to make me some picture frames. And she also made me these little embellishments that you would put on furniture. So, and they're made out of plaster of Paris in her little molds. And I thought this is absolutely perfect for the gingerbread trim. It makes it look just so beautiful. And if you look at photos of other God's Chalk houses, this is not too far-fetched to do it up this fancy because they really, really like the embellishments on their houses. So, so I also have these two smaller flowers, and you can see here, I'm going to hold it at a better angle. Do you see how highly detailed that is? Like really beautiful. And I've already pre-painted them in the color that I had matched for the God's Chalk. And I'm just going to glue this on. And again, I'm still deciding what I'm going to do about the medallion that's supposed to go on the wall. And I really do need to put that medallion on the wall because where the old one was, the lithograph paper is missing. So it'll really clean it up to be able to put a new one on. And it just, I don't know. These just appear to be a little bit too modern. And then with the plaster of Paris on the rest of the peak, it just doesn't seem to be a good fit to me. So I'm kind of back to the drawing board of what I should or shouldn't do. So I've got the tacky glue out, and I'm just going to glue those plaster of Paris pieces on. And there you go. You can see it all glued on. I'm really pleased with the way that looks. So, yes, it's not completely original, but I think that it's tastefully done and it goes with the character of the house. And I know for sure it is exactly the correct shape because it does match the glue pattern on the house. So there you go. I can put my glue away. And now I'm just going to think, what am I going to do about that medallion? This is typically the way I do things, and I always show on a video me, just making the correct decision and putting it together. But that's really, I edit a lot of stuff out. So this is the one that Diane actually cut out for me, and I haven't painted the edges yet, just the top part. And then I figured, well, I might just use this little rose. So you can see there in the light, that gives you a better idea of what it looks like. I'm going to glue that onto the little piece that Diane cut out for me. and then paint it up and see how that looks. So experiments, experiments. So I've actually got five, no, six to choose from. That one there is another plaster of Paris one that Pat made for me, and I could use that as well. So decisions, decisions. Well, let's see what the one with the little rose looks like. So I've got the rose now glued onto the one that Diane cut out with her laser. And there you go. Now I've got it all painted up. And I really like the way that looks. It seems to be a more cohesive look, that the two pieces match a little bit better. And I think that's the way that it has to be done. So now I'm upstairs and I'm taking the two pieces that didn't fit the house, but I'm tucking them in there with a little piece of extra wood because I want that piece to be not flat against the lithograph. I want it to be halfway out on the peak. So I'm just fitting it here and then adding some glue, and I'm going to have to let that sit for a few hours because I don't dare turn the house up until the glue's completely dried. So there you go. That's what the finished product looks like. And I think that that just absolutely looks perfect. I'm glad that I did not paint it bright white like the example from online. I think that it matches the house a lot better to keep with the color that was color matched for me when I went to Home Depot. I just think that that's probably a better match. I think doing a bright white gingerbread trim on this house would have just not looked right at all. Now it looks like I really should try and match that little piece of lithograph paper that's missing there to the right. And I just might do that, but yeah, not today. I'm really pleased with this house. This is just such a lovely house. And with the curtains and all the trim, isn't that just so precious, all lit up in the dark? Oh, yeah, I just can't get over how cool that is. So I've got the warm yellow light on the main floor and the cool light on the upper floor. As far as I'm concerned, doll houses don't get any better than this one. I just love it. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Lisa Dobo. A special thank you to everyone that has supported me on buymeacoffee.com. I appreciate it more than you know. And I also appreciate all you folks out there that have subscribed to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 viewers. That's so cool to me. Okay, well, thank you very much again, and have the best day ever, everyone.